Hello friends, I wanted to make a little video kind of talking about some of the shifts that have been helping me lately. I just want to advocate one time for a regulated nervous system, a routine in order to help you disengage from scrolling, being on your phone when you don't want to be. Your phone can do so much cool stuff for you. Your phone can change your life, I think. We have endless resources at our fingertips. But I think having good phone hygiene, really making sure that you're not letting the phone kind of use you is crucial to be able to kind of tap into that and to know what that would even look like for you. I was kind of meditating on this last night, scrolling when I didn't want to be scrolling, and I was just like, I'm waiting for something so I can break away from this. Multiple friends who have really recommended the Screen Zen app, so I need to get on it too, but like if you just want to go ahead and take care of that problem, that is one way to do it. After I closed my phone, I just heard my egoic inner monologue just really like rapid firing going off. And I realized that a lot of what was happening was the messaging that I feel subconsciously on my phone. These algorithms have been designed to make us consumers and to make us complacent, like we don't have our personal power, make us feel like we constantly need to be working on ourselves, and not in a sustainable way, but in a way that makes us constantly feel like we're not good enough and like we need to be purchasing things, not bringing us back to present moment awareness, which is where all of those things are born from. The ability to seek out new heights for your life and new experiences is born from being able to appreciate the moment that you're in and to show it love and to carry yourself with grace, day to day, moment to moment. And then you're kind of more ready to make those things happen for yourself, more ready to meet those opportunities. I think a regulated nervous system is really sexy, and knowing that there is, even when you're not consuming things that are like overtly negative, you're still getting messaging from an app that was created to harvest your time and money. So pay attention to those things. That brings us to my next point, which is our bodies are sometimes in uncomfortable places. Our bodies are sometimes in uncomfortable resting places. When you sit with your body, you might recognize that there are things that you are not comfortable with happening within your body. At least in the Western world, we don't have a very holistic way of viewing health and wellness, and we're not always given the tools to really take care of ourselves. So when you are in your body, you might feel uncomfortable. You might feel physical pain. You might feel emotional pain being stored. I just want to say that that is okay. And it is not something to run from. It's something to embrace with kindness. I want to watch my video on Year of Yin. I go into that a little bit more and provide a little bit more of a framework for how one might kind of move through that. I just want to say, it doesn't mean that you're always going to feel this way. And actually, the second that you step into it and embrace it and sit with it, oh, I'm not comfortable with some of my routines. I'm not comfortable with the way that my spine feels, or the way that my pelvic floor feels, or the way that my jaw feels, or the way my neck feels. I'm storing tension. If you can actually be honest with yourself about that and stop running from just sitting with yourself. A lot of us are storing trauma in our bodies, we're storing pain in our bodies, and we've had a lack of resources in how to alleviate those things. And the resources that we've been given have been becoming disassociative or doing drugs, numbing ourselves in different ways. So I want to just advocate for the power of sitting in your body and realizing, yeah, I may be uncomfortable, but sometimes being uncomfortable is the first step to releasing that tension. And also just bringing awareness to the tension. The awareness itself is healing. And then if you muster up the energy and the willpower to actually carry out a routine, and there's so much information, you can Google it, you can order a book about it, you can listen to a podcast about it. But if you can create the actual structure and the time to then work on releasing the tension and bringing in fresh chi, fresh energy, fresh prana into your body, fresh life force energy into your body. Breath work is so good for that. You are taking an even more powerful step towards healing your body and creating a better future for yourself, a future where you're more in your body and able to be more present and more aligned with yourself. Because when you put energy into making sure that your body feels good, your choices become better, your quality of life becomes better, you become a more refined vessel for your spirit, and your spirit can, I think, shine a little bit more brightly. My last point, we're going to kind of tie two things into one: pleasure and creativity, which I think are so inherently tied to one another. Such an advocate for pleasure. If a stretch brings you pleasure, if a book brings you pleasure, if pleasure brings you pleasure, if food brings you pleasure, giving yourself moments of pleasure, especially when you're doing so in a way that is respectful of your dopamine receptors and you're not overloading yourself. If you can do a little bit of a dopamine detox and really think about the things that actually bring you joy and make you happy, it doesn't matter if it's silly, if it's like singing in the shower, drawing something. Cultivating pleasure in your life is so important for having a good life, calling in more pleasure. We resist by not being miserable, down on ourselves and feeling like we're never going to be good enough, and to just embrace the fact that you have access to feeling good right now. And you get to be creative enough to find out what exactly that looks like. Does it look like cooking yourself a meal, calling a friend, or creating something and putting yourself out there? I also want to advocate for creativity, messy, fresh off the dome, following that creative spark and making room for that creative spark. Not everything has to be your magnum opus. What are you talking about? It doesn't have to be your magnum opus. If that finds you, and it will, then it finds you. But just keep creating things and keep having fun with it and keep that part of yourself alive, because again, that is a huge way that we can resist in a consumerist culture that wants to distract us by making us think that we don't have enough. When you can step away from that and step into creating from an abundant place and knowing that you already have enough and that you can add to the collective, that you can add your voice into things, if you can value the fact that your voice deserves to be heard and that there's someone waiting to see your work and to connect with your work, or even just that it's a beautiful language to share with other people. You want to feel seen, you want to feel known, share something that you create, and it could be literally anything. I feel like following through on the first idea that pops into your head and just seeing that through is a great practice, because the ideas are going to keep getting better and better the more that you follow through. So make room for pleasure, make room for creativity, create good things for yourself. Don't feel like you have to constantly look for something that you don't have. You have so much, and you have so much at your fingertips. You're alchemizing this life and bringing more joy to yourself, which then brings more joy and amplifies joy into the world around you. So powerful. Don't underestimate it. These are some of my shifts that I've made through this winter that I'm so grateful to have found. They're simple truths, but sometimes they can be hard to keep track of and keep at the forefront of things. What's helping you? Add something into the conversation. I would love to hear from you, and then other people can read it. Come see Big Sibling, who was born with esoteric visions, out. Bye.